Welcome to today's episode of the J&J Podcast. I'm Jamie,
This is Jameson.
and we want to welcome all of our listeners in. And this week, we're going to jump right into the NFL. Jameson, there were some really good games this week. The one I want to first start with is the 49ers versus the Rams. I know you have some thoughts on that one. I'll let you jump into it.
Sure thing. First off, I'm going to just start off by saying huge shout out to Mac Jones, man. I was watching that Thursday night football game, and, heading into it, honestly, my favorites to win were the LA Rams. I've really been high on them throughout this season so far. But the way Mac Jones came in, played through injury, like he went down, I think it was either the second or third quarter, and I thought he was going to be out for the rest of the game. And what's wild is just like then they would have had to resort to their third string quarterback because, Brock Purdy's been hurt the last couple of weeks. But Mac Jones came in, balled out, and ultimately won in that game. And then I got to give a huge shout out to Kendrick Bourne as well. That brother literally looked like Jerry Rice in a Niners uniform on Thursday Night Football. And I'm so thankful. I picked him up on one of my fantasy teams. That brother gave me 24 points. But huge shout out to Mac Jones. Kendrick Bourne played phenomenal. The defense balled out with Fred Warner and the crew. And then what's scary about the 49ers, Dad, is they've been winning games and half their roster is depleted. Like a lot of their big names like Brandon Ayuk is down. Brock Purdy's down. A lot of their defensive players are hurt. Like Nick Bosa's out for the remainder of the season, and they've still found ways to win football games, especially winning against an in-state rival like that against the Rams. That's a huge win for that team. And I'm gonna be honest, I hate to say it, the 49ers are gonna have some questions this offseason because it's like, brother, the way Mac Jones is playing, can you justify having paid now to over $250 million to Brock Purdy? Of course, that remains to be seen, and it sounds like Brock Purdy is going to be the starter coming back this upcoming week. But the way the 49ers have looked with Mac Jones, I'm like, they haven't missed a step. And that's in spite of all the injuries that they've had. So, huge shout out to the 49ers. Honestly, very disappointing loss for the LA Rams. Like, I knew that wasn't going to be a cakewalk type of game for them, but I was expecting a lot more better play out of them. The only person that really showed up was Kyron Williams outside of that fumble that he had. Outside of that, like, Matthew Stafford kind of was slow to get it going, and then he didn't really get Devontae Adams involved until the second half. But, yeah, huge shout-out to the 49ers overall.
Well, what I'll say about Mac Jones is he looked like who they thought he was going to be in that game. I think the dude got injured like 3 different times.
Yeah, he did. He hurt his arm, he hurt his knee. It's like, my goodness.
Yeah, they were like 3 different injuries. So the fact that he toughed it out, he played. I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah,
he played really, really well. Shout out to Kyron Williams because he did what I needed him to do for my fantasy. Rams do better, but overall, I agree with you. I mean, I don't know what the thought process is about Brock Purdy, but I'm just saying if Mac Jones is playing like that on a weekly basis, and that was a team that really tested them.
Yeah.
It does become difficult to justify paying Brock Purdy that kind of money.
Yeah. And what's wild is they already have. It's like they're kind of in a rough spot.
Yeah, but it remains to be seen. We'll see how he plays, and
facts.
Because they're gonna play him because they paid him.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So, all right, I'm gonna shift, and I'm gonna open this one up. The Cowboys versus the Jets. Everybody knows I used to be a Cowboys fan. I'm done with them. Have been done with them for a while. Despise the team. But is Dakota Rain Prescott actually the leading MVP candidate right now?
I'm so glad you brought that up because, like, I'm
just saying.
I'm gonna be honest. I almost had a heart attack in the car when I was thinking about this. But my two leaders right now for MVP is Daniel Jones and Dakota Rain Prescott. If you would have told me that 4 or 5 weeks ago, I would have said you're a madman. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I would have said get drug tested.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact that, like, I'm telling you, I thought about that in the car today. I almost ran off the side of the road. I was like, Daniel Jones and MVP in the same sentence? But hey, all jokes aside, I got to give credit where credit is due. And I'll be honest, I think the only reason why people aren't talking about the Cowboys more is because they had those early season losses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like,
yes.
The fact that they basically ended up with a tie against the Packers, like that was a very hostile game given Micah Parsons' return. I mean, they ball out against the Jets. And here's what I'm going to say on the flip side. The Jets might be one of the best 0-5 teams I've ever seen in NFL history.
Agreed.
And here's what I'm going to throw out there too. None of this is Justin Fields' fault. Like, that
Nope.
brother has been special. Him, Garrett Wilson, and I know people are already going to be quick to try to blame Aaron Glenn. I get it. Like, they brought him in for a defensive mind. I think the defense will figure it out, but none of the blame can be placed on Justin Fields. That brother is
Nope.
not turning the ball over, putting up crazy stats, whether it be in the pass game, the running game, and he already has a really good connection with Garrett Wilson, as you can see the last couple weeks. So I want to go and throw that out there. No blame is going to be put on. I'm not allowing any Justin Fields slander. And here's
What I would say about the Jets defense, though.
Yeah.
Let me interject for one quick
Yeah,
thing.
no, you're fine.
Um, that I'm not even putting that on Aaron Glenn. Like, Sauce Gardner, where are you, bro?
He's getting torched.
What's going on? You're not very saucy right now.
Even Quentin Williams, I have not heard from that brother the entire season.
I mean, literally the invisible man.
You know what I'm saying?
I forgot it was on the field.
Yeah, that's the point. And it's like they have young talent. It's just they got to come to play. Like, it's like you can bring whatever coach you want to. If the players aren't producing, that's not on the coach. Aaron Glenn is not out there making plays. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
And on the offensive side, I'm like, Dad, they've been in all these games. Like, they didn't just get blown out by the Cowboys. Of course, like the score, they lost by 15, but that game was relatively close at the start. It's just Dakota Rain Prescott looked like Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. Like, here's another brother I gotta shout out. Shout out to George Pickens, man. You remember we've been talking about it heading into the season. It was like he was a sleeper for me, and part of that was because this is a contract year for him. That brother is balling out. And what's scary about the Cowboys is they're about to get CeeDee Lamb back in the next couple weeks.
I know.
The way he's playing.
Shout out to Javonte Williams.
I was just about to say to him, Javonte Williams, Trayvon Diggs has finally remembered how to play football again. And here's what I'm going to say. We had questions about the Cowboys defense. Trust me, they're still not a top 10 defense right now, but they look better than the Ravens. They look better than a lot of the other top defenses. They look better than the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
They bend, but they don't break.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's if you've got somebody who runs the foot on offense, if you can run the football, which they've been doing.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams looks like the Javonte Williams that we saw in Chapel Hill.
Yep.
Like,
He's
this
special.
is what we expected. He's actually found his footing, pun intended, and it looks like it's coming easy. Like, this is the bruising. Like, he can run between the tackles, he can knock dudes over, which is what he's been doing. It's a sight to see.
And now, I'm gonna be honest, just to throw something quick in there. I don't know if it's something about these Cowboys running backs, but did you see what Rico Dowdle did for the Panthers on Sunday?
Did.
So I'm like, that's what I'm saying. It's like one thing I will give the Cowboys year in and year out. They always have a good running back, and that dates back years. Of course, sometimes they run them brothers into the ground. That's the problem. But
not sometimes. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's the norm.
Yes.
Yeah.
They literally run them in the ground.
Yeah. But they've looked phenomenal.
But with all that said,
it's the Cowboys.
And it's a regular season. Yeah. So,
facts.
We'll see. But if I had to cast a vote right now, Dakota Rain Prescott and Daniel Jones, to your point, I can't believe I'm saying that. Daniel Jones are probably the leaders in the MVP race right now.
Yeah.
They just are. All right. Colts versus Raiders. Speaking of Daniel Jones, I mean, it's a shock.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, because I thought, okay, first couple of games, I was like, okay, they haven't really played anybody, and I'm not saying that the Raiders are great, but what they've done, what I'm seeing from the Colts, because he's got a nice cast around him, Pittman and Josh Downs, and I mean, running back.
Man, I thought I was watching Marshall Faulk on Sunday when I saw Jonathan Taylor. That brother's
Jonathan
special.
Taylor, yes, doing some special stuff.
And people forget because of the injuries how special he was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very happy for him.
So they've got the right cast.
And
Daniel Jones has been playing out of his mind.
Him, and then I gotta get shout out too, Tyler Warren, the tight end. That's another special brother. Like, they got some pieces over there in Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And what they've been doing is, so the teams that they should beat, they're beating them decisively. Like, they dropped 40.
Yeah, they went federal against them.
And the only loss is to a team that they are just as good as.
Yep.
The ball just, the wrong way a couple of times. They could have easily won that game. So they easily could be 5-0. They're 4-1. They've beaten the teams that they're supposed to beat, and they've beaten them decisively.
Yep.
So listen, I can't argue.
They're scary.
I
They're a
don't.
top 5 team right now in the entire National Football League, if you ask me.
Yes, and I think that Daniel Jones has. I mean, I said it before.
Yeah.
He's in contention for MVP at this moment.
Oh, 1,000.
He just
This reminds me of how Sam Darnold was last year for the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
so a lot remains
Yes.
to be seen, but it's like Daniel Jones, like the brother he's proven he's a star quarterback right now. Currently as it sits, I'm happy.
As it sits. As it sits right now.
Yeah.
No comments about the Raiders. Geno Smith, got to quit throwing interceptions, bro.
Facts. They got to be better.
One of them was not his fault, but
But still,
the others.
and the defense got to be better because giving up 40 points, like that's
Yes.
nasty work, man.
It's nasty work.
They beat them so bad. Anthony Richardson got some tick. Just to put it into perspective,
That's bad.
they beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Raiders do better. Moving on.
Speaking
Broncos
of doing
versus
better.
Eagles. Yeah, exactly. So, I know you have some strong thoughts about this one, specifically AJ Brown. So, go have at it.
Well, here's what I would say. We started talking about this last week, Dad. If you recall, I said the Eagles might be the most overrated 4-1 team I've ever seen. Well, excuse me, 4-0 team. I said this last week. Now they're 4-1. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like this is a situation where they try to get too cute and too pretty. Like, here, this is the same conversation we have about the Baltimore Ravens. Do you know how many times Saquon Barkley ran the ball in the second half? 6.
I mean,
6 times.
wow.
And here's my thing.
It's unacceptable.
If you've established that you're going to be a run-first offense, run the doggone football. Like, you can't just keep picking and choosing. 1 week you want to run the football. 1 week we want to try to force it to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. It's like, you need to do what's allowed you to be successful in the past. And the Eagles, it's like they change up their game plan week in and week out. It's like, that's not... That they do that crap come playoff time, they're going to lose in the first round. I don't care what talent you have on your team.
Yep.
And here's my thing. Jalen Hurts does not look comfortable in that offense. Like, I'm like, bro, and there's no excuse. You have literally the reigning offensive player of the year in Saquon Barkley. You have a top 5 to 10 talent at wide receiver in A.J. Brown. And I'm telling you, you can't ask for a better number 2 wide receiver than Devontae Smith. You have all the weapons at your disposal. Dallas Goedert, a phenomenal defense. It's like, bro, you got to figure it out. And this is not a coaching thing. Like, I'm sitting there watching a game. Jalen Hurts is just not making the right reads. And then on offense, it's like, how in the world do you have Saquon Barkley and you run the ball 6 times in the second half? That's unacceptable. And you know what the Denver Broncos did? They took full advantage of it. Bo Nix, he came out the second half, was throwing straight bombs to Cortland Sutton. You know what I'm saying? They ran the football, got J.K. Dobbins involved. Sean Payton, he had a well thought out game plan, and it showed. And they got embarrassed. They lost. They should be 5-0 right now, but they played around with their food, and it showed. Shout out to the Denver Broncos.
I don't have much to add. I just think Jalen Hurts on a weekly basis he baffles me because 1 week he shows I can throw for 300 yards.
Yep.
The next week he acts like A.J. Brown doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't have wide receivers. Feels like sometimes he just says, you know what, today I'm just going to run the football. I don't care what everybody else is doing. And it just, I mean, in order to be a playoff team, in order to be a good team, you have to be balanced and you have to be consistent.
Exactly.
And one thing that they have not been is consistent.
Nope.
That part baffles me. Now, if you recall, we actually talked about it. We talked about the fact that he wasn't throwing the football. The following week, he threw the football. He had 300 yards and whatever the number was of touchdown passes. Then the following week, I'm like, he forgot how to throw again.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
It's confusing. So I just think, just like they were a couple of years ago, when everybody was hyping them up, and then everybody was saying, "Well, I don't know because of this." It seems as though they actually have a switch. Yeah. I'll see if they still have it, because they are the reigning champs. But it'll just be interesting to see how or whether or not they can actually flip that switch. Because I just don't see it right now.
Me either. I don't. They better figure it out fast, though.
They have to. I'm going to move on to this one, and we're going to talk about this for 30 seconds. And that's all it's going to take. Texans and Ravens.
Dad, I'm going to just say this. No Lamar Jackson. Half your roster is gone. They almost had to play Ray Lewis because there's nobody on defense. And in spite of that, you only run the ball 15 times with Derrick Henry. And you know why you lost by almost 40 points? Because you're incompetent. I'm moving on.
Absolutely. That's it. I don't I'm just saying it. If John Harbaugh has a job at the
I'm
end of the
telling
year,
you.
I'm telling you, listen, we're Lamar fans, but I can't watch anymore if he continues to be the head
I
coach.
can't.
It's
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 nasty.
really that simple. It's 3 years overdue,
And
to
the
be honest
season,
with you.
was wild as the season is not over, but I'm starting to lose more and more hope week in and week out because for you to not have Lamar Jackson half your team and you still don't run the football, I just don't
Yes.
I don't understand it.
I mean, they out here throwing passes
With
to
Cooper
the running.
Rush,
No, but I'm saying they're throwing passes to the running back.
yeah,
Like,
Justice Hill.
no, not even. This wasn't Justice Hill. It got intercepted. It was actually to
Oh yeah, who was? It's not. I'm not
no, no, no.
recalling.
It's the main running back.
Oh, Derrick
Why am I
Henry.
losing? Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
it was a pass to Derrick Henry that
yeah,
got intercepted
yeah,
because the pass was thrown literally at his ankles,
yeah. It's bad.
and the dude did a diving swan, like a swan dive, and intercepted the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, but you out here got you literally got Derrick Henry out here catching passes in the
Yeah.
flat, and this wasn't even in the flat. This was literally a forward pass over in the corner, and it got intercepted
15
because you're
rushing
not
attempts.
running. Yeah, running the football with Derrick Henry. Instead, you're throwing him the football. It's
Yep.
just
Just dumb.
terrible. It's incompetence, is what it is.
Yep.
It absolutely is.
Yep.
Moving on. Buccaneers and Seahawks. What a shootout. And I'm glad it was.
That Baker.
That Baker Mayfield. Um, Listen, I made the mistake, and I will admit it to all our listeners. I made the mistake of not playing Baker Mayfield a week ago because I thought Geno had the better matchup.
We'll
Geno
never
has
do
shown
that
me
again.
I will never do that again. Geno has shown me that he'd rather throw interceptions than touchdowns.
Yep.
So, Baker Mayfield is proving over and over and over again. You know I was not a fan,
Oh no.
but I got him on my fantasy team now, so I have to be.
Yeah.
He is proving that he knows how to win a game. I don't know if you saw the footage on Twitter as they were coming out onto the field. Some Seattle Seahawks fans were barking at him.
I saw
and
that.
He went in.
Good.
I said, boy, y'all messed up.
Yep.
It's a wrap. It is a wrap. And listen, it was a shootout. It was fun to watch him and Sam Darnold. But once again, in the fourth quarter, he delivered when it needed to be done.
I'm telling you, him, and we've been talking about his name every single week, but Emeka Ibuka, him and Bucky
Yes.
Irvin, them brothers are special. And what's scary is that
Absolutely.
they're doing this without Mike Evans and Chris
I was about to
Godwin.
say he did not have Evans or Godwin.
No.
Absolutely.
And I'm like,
yes.
And here's one thing I'm going to give Baker, we'll move on. What I'm really been impressed with is every game they've won has been late game situations, and he's proven
right.
game in and game out. And that I'm telling you, what separates teams come playoff time is you being able to win those close, grinded out games. And he's literally done that every game so far this season. You know what I'm saying?
has.
So it's like come playoff time with the Todd
This is
Bowles led
easy for him.
defense, this is going to be nothing new to him. You know, like to
That's
your
right.
point. So
Yeah.
they're scary, man. I think right
They
now,
are.
genuinely, them and the Lions might be the best two teams in the entire NFC. I don't even think it's close at this point. It's scary.
I would agree. All right, moving on. Commanders versus Chargers.
That Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is back.
That
although I
Jacory.
will- Here's what I will say about Jaden Daniels. I'm gonna need for you to throw the ball to Zach Ertz every now and then. I'm gonna need that to happen. I mean, can you help a brother out? I'm gonna need that to happen. Oh, and by the way, Jaden Daniels and Juju.
Yeah, you can't
I ain't
fool
slick.
me. I'm very
familiar with your game.
Hey, they doing the Asia Wilson Bam type thing.
I was literally about to say this is Asia and Bam part 2.
Yep.
You ain't fooled me.
Yep.
Because here's the other part, and all these people talk about, what about his mama? What you didn't, if you're paying attention, he went and hugged his mom first, and then his mom literally pointed
Yep.
to Juju.
And
I
you
was
should have
like,
seen
okay.
Juju Watkins' dad in the
I
back.
did.
That brother was smiling ear to ear.
Yes, sir. That joker was grinning left to right. But back to the field. I will say this in all seriousness. They're a scary team
I know.
when he plays.
Yep.
They're really
it's
scary.
not, and that's the thing. Like they look good with Marcus Mariota, and I don't want to take any credit away from him, but it's nothing like having your franchise guy back. And
No.
what made it? And here's the thing. I was saying this throughout the week. I thought they were rushing him back low key because I'm like, bro, you
I
don't
did
fool
too.
around with a knee injury. I'm like, you saw what happened with RG3. Same
Yeah.
franchise. So I'm like, but that brother didn't look like he missed a step. Like here's the thing, and I hope that because he showed this. Jaden Daniels also too, like we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I also don't want him leaving the pocket as much. I get it, like
Yes.
he's a dual threat quarterback, but I want him to also be protected. It's like they can't afford not to have him in these key regular season games, and especially not heading into the playoffs. But he looked phenomenal in that. What's wild is they're doing all this without Terry McLaurin. He's still injured.
Oh, I know.
So,
I know.
Yeah, huge shout out to the Washington Commanders. And I'm glad Jaden Daniels is back. The NFL is better when he's playing football.
Well, here's what I will say. On the flip side, Justin Herbert, you're looking more and more like a fraud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And Dad,
every year there's this.
Now they're not going to have Omarion Hampton for the next 4 weeks.
I know. And I'm sitting here like every year we hear this, oh, he's got the goods.
Yep.
He's going to do this. He started out great. And then
he's sold.
It's like you literally come back. You come back to reality, and I'm like, okay, I remember now.
Yep.
This is who he's become. So, listen, I'm not saying the brother doesn't have talent. What I'm saying is, this seems to be kind of a trend with him.
Yeah,
it's a pattern.
I agree.
So, Patriots, Bills. That Drake May moment.
That Drake May.
Listen, I'm just gonna say this very quickly. You and I talked about it. We've been talking about it on this podcast. Try to tell people. Because, folks were sleeping on Drake May. They were sleeping on Omarion Hampton because Carolina's a basketball school. Let's just call it what it is. And nobody took us seriously when we told them they're the real deal. Oh, they're listening now. They're paying attention now. Because here's the reality. Drake May is probably 2 years ahead of schedule.
I agree.
And he doesn't even have all of the talent around him yet.
Yep.
Now, Stephon Diggs, my God.
Woo!
I mean,
Dad, I thought I was watching Julian Edelman. Lord have mercy.
That dude was up. Listen, he was hyped. And I saw him on the sidelines. He's matured.
Yep.
And not that he wasn't mature before, but you know what the narrative always is.
Oh, yeah, always.
When he's on the sideline barking.
Yep.
Now, when he does it, it's, he's not a good teammate. When others do it, they're competitive. They've got that fire. I'm not even going to get into that. We can talk about that a little bit later. But what he did went into Buffalo, of all places.
Yeah, hostile environment and balled out.
And looked at Josh Allen and said, oh, hold my beer.
Yep. Hey, shout out to Cardi B, man. Shout out to Cardi B, man.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
I'll leave it alone because, listen, there's more season to play, but Drake May has the goods. For those who didn't know,
some of those throws that he was making, like, did you see that throw where he was falling down at the end of the game and still got it to Stephon Diggs? I'm like, bruh, that's a special, like, if that would have been Patrick Mahomes, we would still be talking about that play today. To put it into perspective. And it's like, here's another person I got to give a huge shout out to is Mike Vrabel. Like, you can tell those players have rallied around him. Similar, we always use Dan Campbell as an example. Like, there's other coaches that we can throw out there, but it's like they've literally rallied around him quickly, in his first year being the head coach there. So it's like, they have their franchise guy in Drake May. They can continue to build around him. Like, some of the players that they have on their team, that they have some talented players. Like, I like Travion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson. Outside of that fumble, he had a solid game. I hate to keep saying his brother's last name, but Booty, he's a solid receiver. He's not Booty. He's a great receiver. And then even on defense, it's like Christian Gonzalez, like some of the players they had up front on the line. I'm like, bruh, they have some good young talent. I'm like, now they know they have their guy going forward in Drake May.
Agreed.
Yep.
Absolutely. Last night's game, Chiefs, Jaguars.
That Duval.
I mean, here's what I'm going to say, though. The game shouldn't have been as close. It just baffles me how much. And I really try to watch a game with an unbiased eye, but it just baffles me how much they cheat for the Chiefs, man.
Oh, yeah.
It is absolutely ridiculous. First of all, I think it was maybe the second touchdown when the dude it was obviously a pick.
Oh yeah.
And they went and saw like the referee who's the official or retired official who's there with the commentators giving his input. He was like, yeah, it's obviously a pick play. It was beyond the 1 yard line. That should have been reversed. Everybody saw it. They were like, oh no, it's a touchdown.
Yep.
And then Troy Aikman tried to cover it up. He was like, well, it was so close. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. That's the kind of stuff that bothers me.
There was a missed PI call too. Like, thank God they called the one at the end on Brian Thomas. But I'm like, there was a missed PI call, and here's what I'm gonna say: it came back to bite him because that pick six, that pick six by Mahomes on that goal line.
Man, I was doing backflips.
That
Not
Devin
really.
Lloyd. That monster.
It was excellent.
Tell
And I will say this: I'm Trevor Lawrence has changed my mind. I
Facts.
thought, but this was the year for him to do it because if he didn't
Yeah,
do it
no
this year,
excuse.
there was no excuse. So shout out to the Jaguars
Yep.
because they rallied back. I was impressed with the way they did it. Trevor Lawrence, I just need for you to make sure that Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep.
catches a couple of touchdowns because he's on my fantasy team.
And I'm gonna be
Um,
honest. You know why I was also impressed by the Jags? Like, first off, that play that Trevor Lawrence made at the very end was absolutely phenomenal.
oh, that was.
But here's the second thing I was very impressed about. Their leading rusher last night was Trevor Lawrence. Like Travis Etienne,
Yes.
up until that game, had been one of the best running backs in the entire National Football League. For your leading rusher heading into that game to still be Trevor Lawrence, and you still find a way to win that game, like huge kudos. They're 4-1. They've already won
Yeah.
as many games this year as they did total last season.
Absolutely. So I'm impressed.
And Travis
And
Hunter looked really good too. Like,
yes,
he looked phenomenal.
and he's only getting better.
Yep.
He's only getting better.
Yep.
So shout out to the Jaguars. All right, one other quick topic on the NFL. Joe Flacco got traded. I'm going to say this: no matter how they try to keep him down, and you and I have discussed this before, eventually it's going to work out.
Yep.
And listen, he's now QB number 2. We don't have to say his name because God knows everybody else wants to. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to go into a whole bunch of detail. Joe Flacco got traded. And in spite of them trying to sabotage,
Yep.
look, I'm just telling you, before it's all said and done, we'll see him this year.
Facts. I'm gonna be honest too. This is no disrespect to Joe Flacco, but if I'm the Bengals, I keep rocking out with Jake Browning. Or here's my thing: if you were gonna trade for a quarterback, why would you not trade for a Jameis Winston type player? Because Joe
Exactly.
Flacco literally played with
He's
Jim Brown.
97 years old.
He literally played with Jim Brown, like
Exactly.
and Ozzie Newsome, like bruh, like you gotta hang it up at some point, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like
I do.
And here's my thing.
And
I
he's
know
not LeBron. He's not a 40-year-old LeBron
no, sir.
by any stretch.
I mean, Dad, the reason why Dylan Gabriel is playing right now because Joe Flacco was terrible. So,
Yes.
And here's my thing:
Took up the joint.
if I'm Jake Browning, I get he didn't have a good first half against the Lions on Sunday, but that second half, that brother was slinging the football. So I'm like,
was.
for them to make just out of the blue, no one was expecting for the Bengals to trade for Joe Flacco. Like Jake Browning has been pretty good. Like Jamar Chase,
who's the backup?
I
Who's,
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, see, that's.
But,
I think
but here's the
like,
problem. They're already talking about potentially starting Joe Flacco this upcoming Sunday.
Yeah,
That's insane.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake. That is insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's what I'm going to
sorry.
say. If you have T. Higgins, you might want to bench that brother going into Sunday. Because he ain't
there's no
sniffing the
question.
football if Joe
Well,
Flacco's
guess
in that
what?
backfield.
I've got T. Higgins.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He didn't play this week. I didn't play him this week anyway. And I'm definitely not playing him for Joe Flacco starts.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So, all right. Completely shifting topics and on a very serious note, the Kyron Lacey situation.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
It's
Rest
been
in
heavy
peace
on
to
my
him.
heart the last couple of days, man.
Mine too. And, you know, one of the things that we talked about when we first started this podcast was we were going to say some of the things that other people don't want to say. It's 2025. And just because a black man is in proximity to an accident, he's accused of causing the accident. Doesn't even have to be involved in the accident, but just because he's somewhere near it, that's what happened. The truth has finally come out. The narrative shifted. Everything changed. People who are making comments, I'll call some of them out. Barstool Sports should be ashamed of themselves.
Yep.
Making comments that they made, some of the narratives that were being painted, some of the things that were being said, and now you try to backtrack. I hope guilt eats you up. I really do. I hope it haunts you for the rest of your life. But we're praying for, not thoughts and prayer, we're praying for Kyron Lacey's family and that situation, because that young man should be in the NFL.
Yep.
And
it's a brother that should be living out his dream right now.
That's right.
And instead of because of just malpractice from the judicial system and the police department there, this is a brother that will never get to live out his dream because of malpractice on their front. And what makes it sad is too, it's just like, this is what always ticks me off. Why did it take this long for the truth to come out? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes, cover up.
Why did we not know about this the first week where the situation was even brought up? You get what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
that's what really ticks me off. I'm like, if they would have done their due diligence, he would still be playing football right now on the
He
NFL
would.
level because the brother was
He
uber
would.
talented.
Absolutely.
You know?
Here's the last thing that I will say. People can say it's political, stick to sports. Please. That's only when one side wants you to be quiet.
Facts.
But here's the reality. At the end of the day, in 2025, and people can say, "Oh, we've progressed, we've moved forward." What this shows you is that being black in America still will get you killed.
Yep. We got a long way to go.
We got a long way to go. It is what it is. I said what I said. I won't apologize for it. We're going to close out this podcast with, as we always do, with moving the needle. Jameson, for this week, what's your moving the needle?
I'm gonna be honest. My moving the needle was NBA preseason basketball being back. I know, like NBA preseason can be somewhat boring, but some of the games I was watching, some of the young stars I was seeing, like who I'm really intrigued to see. You know, I'm a big Lakers fan, but I'm really excited to see Cooper Flag. The way that brother was balling out in the preseason last night, especially, and even like some of the Lakers players, like Bronny. I know he didn't have the best shooting night, but he looked like he's improved a lot. RJ Davis was balling out in the preseason. Jackson Hayes was making some good plays. So I'm just really excited for basketball to be back in the coming weeks. That was my moving the needle this week. And Drake May. Huge shout out to Drake May.
Absolutely. Well, my moving the needle is actually it's basketball, but it's the WNBA. And
oh man, that should have been mine. Dang man.
Yep.
I just should have been mine.
Nope. Too late. So what I will say about the WNBA is I really want the Phoenix Mercury to make it a series. And I still think that there's a possibility that they will, but listen.
If they lose game 3, it's wraps.
Oh, it's over. But Jackie Young is clicking on all cylinders now. And listen, we owe Jewel Lloyd an apology.
Facts. And shout out to Dana Evans too.
Well, bottom line, listen, I'm a Dana Evans fan. I've been telling you for a while. There were some games early in this season I was like, I'd much rather see Dana Evans than Chelsea Gray.
Yep.
Now, with that said, Chelsea Gray has gotten it together for the most part. For the most part, she's got it together. But Jewel Lloyd came in, Dana Evans came in. They'd be starting on other teams. We know
1,000%.
There's no question. So I'm hoping that the Phoenix Mercury make it a series. I hope that when is the next game? Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's tomorrow night, yes. So I'll be honest. I actually, not that I'm biased, but I actually want the Phoenix Mercury to win tomorrow.
And it's going back to Phoenix. So it's like, if they're going to win game 3, that's their best chance to do that,
Yes. But Asia Wilson has shown, is showing and has shown why she's the MVP.
Oh, it's her. And then Jackie Young, 21 points in the quarter. That's the most in the quarter in WNBA Finals history. It's like,
absolutely,
that's insane what she's doing.
It is. It's crazy what she's doing.
Yeah.
So listen, before it's all said and done, they might go down like Jordan and Pippen. They might go down as one of those all-time duos.
And Dad, I'm sorry, I tried to tell you. I know it's still like up for debate, but if Asia Wilson wins the championship this year, she already is up there for the best WNBA player of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Even at her age, she's a monster.
That she's in top 3
right now. I agree.
Yes. So nothing to argue there. I won't argue with you about that. So we're good. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. We appreciate all of our listeners. We'll see you back next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Peace.